I enter his gates with thanksgiving in my heart. I know that praise is appropriate. The gates are open wide because I am always welcome. There are no restrictions because I am the offspring of all that is. God has granted me the liberty of being in the visible image of thy majesty. I live and move, and I submerge myself in truth. I am not seeking truth. I am the truth. Why? Because thou hast given me all that thou art. I am not looking for a way. I am not looking for a life. I am not looking for anything to help me, because having ownership of all that my Father is, I am the way, the truth, and the life. So I rest. I rest in an understanding and a trust. What is that trust? The Father is always with me. All that the Father is with me. All that the Father has is with me. I and my Father are one. I live and move and have my being in the Father. The Father cannot be distinguished from me, nor I from him, because the Father is truly truth. The Father is the individual consciousness, the individual life, liberty. The Father is all. And as the Father expresses itself into being, there I am, the visible proof of all that is true, all that is living, all that is the way. I am the only existence. It is my responsibility to see that I am the only existence. As I look at the appearances, I realize I am the only existence. Spirit is all that there is. And all that spirit is fulfilled at that point. There is no place that spirit must come from. There is no place where spirit must go. There is no place that spirit must contend with. In the presence of spirit is the fullness of joy, the fullness of the Father. I glory in this. Why? Because I can stand still now and see the salvation. What shall contend with that which created all things, that which expresses all things? Nothing. My life is the life of God, hid within the firstborn. We are one. And in reality, there is no we. I am one. But when you see me, you see him that sent me. When you know him, you know me. When I know him, I am that I am. Speak, Lord, for I am justified and established, because I am the Word made flesh. Speak. Thy servant listening. So be it. What shall we say then? If God be for us, who or what can be against us? This should be the battle cry. This should be the victorious statement screamed from the height of consciousness by every person who feels or who knows that they are of the King, created in his image and in his likeness. And yet all around us, what do we see? Those very people running for their life. Those very people isolating themselves. Those very people rolling their eyes at other people on the streets when they see them. And yet, the scripture's saying, if God be for us, who can be against us? If thou be justified by faith, there is therefore no condemnation in him. No ability. Why? Because God, being the perfect, has justified and established us. What then are we? Where's the hope of this world? How can we cower in a corner when we are the light? If you recall, Jesus told his disciples, you are the light of the world. Feed them. Be with them. Give unto them all that you have, that your Father would be glorified. I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. How dare the system of this world tell you how to be safe? Yes, comply with whatever demands they make of you. Comply with them, but don't believe that you are in any danger if the word is alive in you. You see, the word goes past memorization. It goes past intellectual agreement. There must be an experience. He who has experienced God has been set free from any suggestion. Where then does the threat come from? Wherein does God create and then allow that which he is, that which he has given himself to? Where is the threat? Where is God weak on his borders? Now, don't get me wrong. You don't run out in the street and start screaming, I got faith. I'm going to prove to you I got faith. No. Your faith is being tested right now. Like I tell my people, we've been practicing now for a good 2-3 years, and we've been coming through situations. Now all of a sudden, the threat has come to say, I'm going to take you out. People who are supposed to be filled with faith are now doing what? Got to be careful. What is careful? Yeah, I got to be careful to realize that I have hid his word in my heart that I might not sin against him. That in a time of trouble and trial and tribulation, he will be with me. I will run into the high tower. Not out of fear, Yeah, I'm going to be careful. What is that careful? That careful is I am going to acknowledge him in all my ways. Remember I said something as simple as when you go to the bathroom. Don't just get up and go to the bathroom. Say, the Spirit of the Lord is going to the bathroom. The Spirit of the Lord is washing dishes. The Spirit of the Lord is going downtown. The Spirit of the Lord is going grocery shopping. Why am I doing this? I am acknowledging the Spirit of the Lord. In him I live. In him I move. In him I be. But just by saying those things, that doesn't cause me to be free. I am stating that I am acknowledging the truthfulness of those words. I am intellectually. What do? I'm going to pause. Speak, Lord. Like the meditations we do. Speak, Lord. The servant is listening. What am I listening for? I'm listening for a word. I'm listening for a movement. I'm listening. I'm sitting. I'm waiting on something. Something. What is that something? It's unique to you, and you already know what it is. It's that something that comes on you when you know the Spirit of the Lord. I got one friend who said his legs get hot. I got another friend, hair stands up on their arm. I got another one, the little bubbles on your arm, look like you just went through a chill. With me, it's a swimming in the top of my head. With my brother, it's a hot burning in his stomach. To some, it's a wind that's blowing where there shouldn't be any wind. You know what it is. That's what you're looking for. Speak, Lord. Know that even if you don't feel it, right then, you move in that. Just like right now, the top of my head is swimming. Why? Because I don't want to do anything that would jeopardize the relationship. This is pearl of great price. I am therefore what? Justified by faith. And when you're justified, you are established. What is established? I shall not be moved. This is not something I flex my muscles. See what I'm saying? This is not something I stand up and say, come on, shoot me with your best shot. No. This is something that I know and I hide within myself. Because I've been practicing, and now it's time to get in the game. I didn't ask for the game, but the game came, didn't it? In this world, you will have trials and tribulations. What did Peter say, though? But be of good cheer. Jesus said, be of good cheer. Why did he say that? Because you've been practicing. Tell me an athlete that practices all week and doesn't want to get in the game, especially the second and third stringers. They want to get in, even if they get out there and mess up. They want to get in. Because how can you learn except you get in the game? That's why I tell people a lot of times right now, don't be running around talking about how much faith you got. No, you in the game. Whether you want to be in the game or not, you in it. And guess what? You're going to find out just how much game you got. There's nothing wrong with finding out. That shows you where you are. That shows you where you are. Okay, I see right now I'm scared. Okay? Acknowledge it. I'm scared. Lord, help my unbelief. Keep practicing. You ever notice that player that works hard, and all of a sudden something happens in the game where they have to start out, and then they got to take the backup out? Guess who's next? You're going to be forced in. Even if you go out there and mess up, you've been practicing the same play. And it's up to you to be ready to go in. And the coach is going to call you. He already knows the level of your talent. So every time there's a break in the action, he's going to call you over and give you instructions because he can't afford to take you out and put these back in because it may be too early in the game. And he jeopardizes his star and his backup. You see, One thing we must come to understand, man has been victimized. He's been victimized. It was not his doing. He didn't ask for it. He was born into a world of erroneous beliefs and suggestions. He must nullify them. Wait a minute, Reverend, you said he. That's right. There is no God out there that is nullifying your erroneous belief. Because if there is, what is he waiting on? How many times have you said, God, fix this? And it just goes on unchecked. God, why you got to wipe out over 1 million people? What is he waiting on? No. Man nullifies all of the negative suggestions come to him because he submerges himself in the secret place of the Most High, and he stays there mulling over the truth of the Word of God, all the time keeping the picture of Jesus Christ framed as the victor. And Jesus says, and as it was with me, so shall it be with you, all of you that heed my word. There is but one power. Remember what he said? Hear, O Israel, as he cried over Jerusalem. Hear, O Israel. Hear what? The Lord God is one. There is no God beside me. Oh man, do you yet look at appearances and judge by the appearances? If you want to overcome, it says, cast down every imagination that would exalt itself above the knowledge of God and Jesus Christ, in whom all of this knowledge rests. How do I get that? Well, you go to class, don't you? When you go to class, what happens if you stay in there long enough? You hear something that makes it bing, and you got it. When you leave out of the class, you're not walking around saying, teacher got to walk around with me to remind me of this truth. You know the truth now. You're the teacher. At this point, you're the teacher. Why? Because the truth is resting in you. Why are you the teacher? You can't be a student. But when that suggestion comes at you, you know the truth, don't you? And when you know the truth, somebody's watching you. You're the teacher. And they go say, how did you get through that? I just knew what the truth was. I hope you heard what I just said. You shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. You don't need to speak a word. You can keep your mouth shut and know the truth. It's like I tell my friends now, I love going to the grocery stores and the Walmart and whatnot. That's my playground. I go in and watch the Lord move people around. Not so that I have an advantage, because I always ask him, do for all. All these people need to get out of here. I'll just walk past the aisle. When I'm ready to check out, I'll walk past the aisles and go, okay, Lord, which one? And I'll get a feeling, that row right there. Lord, there's 4 people in that row. Yeah, wait till you get up there. You get up there and there's going to be 10 in them other rows. Or, do y'all have any of this? Do y'all have any of that? No, we sold all out. Oh, okay. I accept it. You walk 2 or 3 steps, and the person comes back to you and says, whoa, look here. Somebody put some more on the shelf. Thank you. See what I'm saying? You go knowing that you're in God. You go expecting that you were made in his image and in his likeness, and all things are yours. He has made the earth your footstool. What's a footstool? A place where I rest my feet. Now, for those of you who are unaware of what feet are symbols of, Understanding. Now you see Jesus washing the disciples' feet. What is he washing? Their understanding. He's cleansing symbolically their understanding. So if I rest my feet on the earth, my understanding is resting. It's resting from turmoil. It's resting from confusion. Why? I'm relaxed in the chair. I know the truth. What is the truth? I and my Father always one. There is no place that I can be that the Father is not. We need to take this picture that we have of God as being in some place an old man with the beard and on a throne. We need to take that and cast it away. God is not a man that he should lie, nor the Son of Man. He doesn't look like us, y'all. Stop treating God as though he acts like us. No. You couldn't pay me enough money to try to define God, to describe it. I have no idea what God looks like. And guess what? I don't care. All I know is that he has placed all that he is within this thing I call me. And it's up to me to understand this. You with me? It's up to me to realize where I am, the fullness of the universal, invisible, infinite intelligence, consciousness that is God is with me. Always. Never taking a break. Always. Can multitask like you wouldn't believe. Always. I don't care. I am in the Father. The Father is in me. Therefore, I am justified and established. It matters not that I stumble and fall. What is he going to say? Get up. Dust yourself off. Let's get back at it. Just because you make a bad play in the game, coach doesn't cut you from the team. He might take you out and sit you down and tell you what you got to do next time. Whose responsibility is it to take that and watch over it to make sure you don't do that again? If you'll watch a coach, he even calls his star players over to the side and tells them, you're not doing this, you need to do this. Why? Because he's a coach. Supposedly he has the experience. What can I then expect if I believe that the word is alive in me? Everything. In the presence of the Lord, there is fullness of joy. Whoa. So you mean I don't need to figure out how to work this? No. Just remember what? I'm always in the presence of the Lord. I am always in the presence of the Lord. Always. Always. What then shall I fear? Nothing. Why? Because God is with me. What is God? The infinite, intelligent, conscious awareness of I am. So what do I have to do? What do I have to do to work the work? But Jesus said, believe on him whom God has sent. Not Jesus the man, okay? Believing on him whom God has sent is the firstborn before all creation. Jesus Christ, the Spirit that dwells in every man, dwells as every man, expresses as every man. That's what you believe on. What? That Spirit is what? You're right. That's right. It's right. It's me. It's me. But when will I realize this? When you're ready to give up your victimization. When you are ready to accept the fact that I was born to express the purpose and will of God, when you're ready to do that, then the firstborn is coming forth alive. When I awaken each morning, What's the first thing that I must do when I realize I'm awake? Good morning, truth. Good morning, reality. Thank you for that thou hast created this day and set a table before me in the presence of my enemy, every evil thought. Not people. People are not your enemy. If they were your enemy, he would not ask you to pray for them. So how do I pray for them? By acknowledging the spirit of truth that's in me. If that spirit of truth is in me, it's in every person. That right there nullifies anything they can do to you because they want to act outside of who they are, and it establishes everything in you that you might receive the fullness of joy. So what am I afraid of during the day? Nothing. What if he rolls his eyes at me? Didn't roll it. What if he jumps the line? Didn't jump. What if he calls me a name? Forgive him. Acknowledge the Spirit of the Lord. Why? Because if you do so, that person is only doing those things to himself or herself. So I establish myself in the law of God's presence. This is my sacred and holy habitation. I am secure. Why? Because all power is in God, and there is no other power. If you decide that you want to be fearful, you can make that fear a power in your life. See that? You can make that fear a power, but it will not overpower God. It's just you now going off down the wrong road. What? The wide path that leads to destruction. But if you stay on the narrow path, it leads to what? Everlasting life. God alone is power, and I am the expression of that power made visible. Where I exist, all exist. All what? All of the characteristics of my Father. I only need to accept who I am and accept who he is. For as I accept one, I am accepting both. Jesus looked at the people of the world who were accusing him, and what did he say? If you knew God, you would know me. Can you imagine saying that to people today? They want to wring your neck. Come on now. That's a shame, isn't it? That the church does not want to recognize that it is made in the image and likeness of God. But I think I might need to say that again. The church sings about being the children of God. The church quotes being the image and likeness of God. The church glories in songs and things, but when the test comes, the church backs away and says, be careful. What is God afraid of? Somebody please tell me. What is God afraid of? I live and move and have my power in what? God. Who is afraid of what? Nothing. God is saying, trust me. How can I trust him if I don't walk in the trial? How can I trust him if I hide from the trial? Now, I'm not saying don't comply with what the government is requesting you to do. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that behind the mask, underneath the gloves, in between the 6 feet, somewhere away from the coffin, okay? I'm not making light of this. You should be carrying a belief within you. I'm in the Father, and the Father is in me. Because in and of myself, I can do nothing to set myself free. I can only stand in this thing And if I hear a word say, put a mask on, and I know that that word is the Father speaking, so I'm going to put a mask on. Okay? If I hear a word that says, fear not, then I'm going to fear not. But it's not me doing anything. I'm not telling me to do anything. The word is telling me to do it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to listen. That's why I go to meditation. Please listen to me. This is not about you saying, well, I meditate and I've been practicing, so I'm going to be strong. I'm going to stand in faith. No, you go and listen for that word. Because it's the Father that delivers, not your memorization, not your intellectual agreement. That's not what delivers. The Father. What is the Father? Your Father is your highest belief. You are the servant of your highest belief. You shall not rise above it. I don't care what you tell yourself. If you're scared, you're scared. And you may as well acknowledge that you're scared, okay? Don't be out here trying to show nobody, oh, man, I got God on my side, and all on the inside of you shaking like a leaf on a tree. No, you better get your butt out of there and go somewhere and sit down and say, Lord, I'm scared. But if you go to the meditation and say, Father, thy word have I hid. Have I hid it in the sacred place? Show me, Lord, thy deliverance. And listen. That which is necessary to you is always in abundance. God is never coming from some place to bring you something. Okay? When you pray, God is never going in the closet or going in his garage or going in his storehouse. No. I'm with you always. All that God is always with you. So therefore, whatsoever is necessary is there right then. He only wants you to pause for whatever time you can give. And if you got to hide under a table while you pause it, hide under the table while you pause. He might say you stand up now. I got you. Or he may say stay under the table. I got you. But you at least want to acknowledge the presence of God. Why? Because the presence is not going to fail you if your whole heart is in it. I quickly reject any and all appearances that suggest lack, sickness, disease, famine, hatred, injustice, and the like. Where I am, there is liberty and freedom. Just by rejecting these things does not mean that they're going to immediately go away, but you reject them as you move into the place of refuge. My Father is a light, and that light shines all about me. In the kingdom of heaven, there is no sickness. In the kingdom of heaven, there is no disease. In the kingdom of heaven, there is no famine. In the kingdom of heaven, there is no hatred. In the kingdom, there is no injustice. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did not Jesus go through each one of those categories and show every man the deliverance in every one of those categories? And then at the end, he went one step further, didn't he? He went into that thing we fear the most, death. And as most people want to just kind of rest in the understanding that Jesus died for us. What did he do after 3 days? Come on now. What did he prove? If any man believes in me, he will never die. If a man believes my word, he shall never taste death. We don't pay any attention to that. No, in and of yourself, you cannot thwart death. But if you believe in him, it's the Father that thwarts death. How does he do it? I am life everlasting. He who believes in God cannot die, but he shall have everlasting life. Well, wait a minute now. That's a little confusing. Yeah, the material man and the mental man will die. But the man who has his belief in God, he shall never die. But who is it that gives life? God, not the man. We must give of ourselves that the proof may come forth. I do not call on the way. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Now we're headed into oneness. When you see me, you see him that sent me. Why? Because I am justified by faith. I am justified by practicing this thing that goes against the system that we live in. I'm justified. Why? Because I believe it to be true. And once I become justified, what do I become? Established. The presence and the activity of God is where I am. I'm going to keep myself in that. I'm always presenting all that I am. I'm not going to hold anything back. Okay? Even if I am afraid in a situation, I am going to acknowledge the presence of God. I'm in the game. I just can't quit and run. I can't call time out. Coach going to get mad if I just call time out. What am I going to do? Lord, here I am. Here I am, Lord. Grant that thy servant should see thy salvation. Children of Israel stood before the Red Sea. They were what? Scared. But there was one among them that was not afraid. And it said that God, what? Baptized them all in the faith of Moses. Can you see what opportunity you have as you're out here in the street and people are afraid and whatnot? Just you walking through the store, walking the street saying, I in the midst of thee am God. You're casting your protection over everybody in that store instead of, look how they're looking at me. They're wondering if I'm, you can't afford to do that. That thought is going to come to you. But that is not your heritage. I am the light of the world. He will keep a perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on him, presenting all that he is. What am I doing as a person? I am presenting all that God is. I ain't opening my mouth and screaming, look, y'all, here's God. No, I'm not doing that. But on the inside, Lord, I acknowledge your presence. For your presence is the only presence. I'm not going to judge by the appearance, but I'm going to cast down every imagination that would exalt itself above the knowledge of God. What did Jesus do? Making a display of every negative suggestion. He made a display, and he led every one of those displays into captivity. Did y'all hear what I just said? That's scripture. Where is captivity? Something that is taken captive. Wow. He did what? He led them all into captivity. What the heck am I doing? I'm acting like they still out here. Like I have to make some kind of personal demonstration. No, he made it. Be of good cheer, I have overcome the world. Everything that would cause you to be fearful, I have destroyed it. Isn't that what he said? The presence and the activity of God is always where I am. I am justified by my established belief. I work hard at it, y'all. I work hard at it. Like I was telling somebody the other day, I said, just like when I got into getting a girlfriend, I gave my whole self to the girlfriend. My whole self. I was not going to cheat. I wasn't going to do girlfriend. That was it. I was a young boy, and I'm going to marry her. Then I come into basketball. I gave my whole self to basketball. I ate, slept, and drank basketball 24/7. Man, you crazy. You come. Yeah. Why? Because I love this sport. I want to know everything about it. I want to be the best at it. Then I get into what? Madden. Getting beat up. What did I do? Gave myself to Madden. Gave my whole self to it. Then I get into what? Bass guitar. I play the guitar when I'm here, and I go home and play it. Why? Giving my whole self to it. Well, what do you think happened when I realized the value of the Godhead? I have given my whole self to this. Except the seed fall to the earth and die, it abideth alone. So if any man lose his life and depart away from his mother and father, meaning the system that he was taught, he cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. Yeah, it has caused some problems in my life because I've given my whole self over to dying to this world. And some of the things that people hold valuable, I don't anymore. Why? Because somewhere within me it has been proven that those areas are taken care of because I have set my love on him. And he will not fail me. Truth is God. I am at one with truth. I am at one with the Creator. All that the Creator has given, I am. Therefore, I shall guard his word as the only thing of value, knowing that it is going to add every lucrative idea and expression to this thing I call life. I come that you might have life, and you might have it more abundantly. Well, I take him at his word. I don't know what things I have need of, but I know that as I keep my mind and keep my focus on him, those things must be added unless he be a liar. And I know he's not a liar. So therefore, I forge ahead, establishing myself early. Come unto me, all you that labor and are heavy laden. Come when? Early. Come early in the attack. When is early in the attack? When I'm tired of being attacked. That's early. You keep telling me about this God that loves me, and I don't know him, I'm coming early. What you got? Yeah, I know I'm going to have to go through some changes. I'm going to have to change a lot of things in me. But I'm willing to do so. Why? Because you see that you love me so much that you gave your only begotten Son, that whosoever believed on him would not perish. You said that if I knew you were right, I would have life everlasting. And he said that he had washed all of us in the word and had given us the Spirit. Well, I'm taking him at his word. I am going to give all that I am through self-crucifixion that I might obtain that life. My position is to be established and justified in him. What? In truth. I shall know the truth, and the truth will set me free. I shall rest at day's end, justified and established. God bless you.